All right, I am Beth Rebarger.
And I'm Melanie Duhai.
And on today's Hawk Talk, we are discussing the dreaded F word, finals. However, we have two awesome guests with us today to chat more about how a student can best prepare themselves for finals and the various services that are offered to Harper College students.
Today we have Ellen Fisher, Manager of the Academic Support Center, and Melissa Merlos, Circulation Advisor and Adjunct Librarian. First off, can you tell us a little bit about your roles at Harper and some of the services that you offer through your areas? Ellen, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I am, as you said, the Manager of Academic Support, and we are actually 7 different centers all in one, all services free for Harper College students. Tutoring, Writing Center, Success Services, our Developmental Math Center, our Anatomy Room, Supplemental Instruction, and Community Tutoring. So we have something for everyone. We cover, even though we are all online now, we cover everything that we did when we weren't online, when students would come in and see us. And it's really easy to make appointments, but we're here to help students succeed.
And Melissa?
I'm Melissa Merlos. I'm the Circulation Supervisor and Adjunct Librarian for the library. So primarily I manage the public service staff, oversee the library marketing and programming, and assist with our One Book, One Harper program. As an adjunct librarian, I help students with their research needs, teach library instruction classes, and we work with faculty as embedded librarians. So right now, we are offering some services on campus for curbside. So we're working very similarly to a lot of the public libraries. So students and employees can put holds on library materials on their account, and they can pick them up through curbside services. But majority of our work is remote. So we are offering research assistance to students through a few different ways. One is through online chat, the other is email, and then we also have online research appointments available. And we have access to electronic materials and databases, and we're also offering electronic article requests through interlibrary loan to help students with their research.
Thank you both, and I can't reiterate how important these services are for our students, and also how many services are actually available to our students and even employees, I know, requesting some of those books and so forth. So I just want to say thank you, and I know you all do a lot of work. So thinking about success, according to the National College Health Assessment, which was distributed to our Harper College students back in March, procrastination is one of the top impediments to learning that our Harper students reported. And so Ellen, can you provide maybe some tips or strategies for students to help avoid or maybe alleviate procrastination?
Absolutely. I think we all procrastinate sometimes. And we think we're going to have more time to do things than we actually do. And sometimes it doesn't matter, but with our schoolwork, it really does matter. And the semester goes by more quickly often than we think it's going to. So we are already past the halfway points in our semester right now. We still have a lot of time to catch up and make changes, but we want to get started now. And especially now in this online environment that we're all working in, we have to really watch our time. So we always think that procrastination and time management are 2 things that we have to look at the same time. Everyone has 168 hours in the week, which sounds like a lot. And then we wonder, well, where do those hours go? It seems like I'm always rushing to get things done. So we tell students that it's a matter of planning, and we tell students to not let another day go by without making some kind of a plan. Looking at today all the way through the end of the semester to see what do you have due. Look at your syllabi, talk to your faculty members, see what to do when, and make a plan. In our office, we have success services for students where you can make an appointment to meet one-on-one with one of our learning specialists, and we have sessions on both procrastination and time management. And so it helps students to realize that you can get things done. You have more time than you think. It's a matter of how we sort of allocate the things that are most important to us. At least if we start them, then we'll feel better. So you want to think about that. Get started today. Look long term all the way to the end of the semester, past Thanksgiving and everything, so that you can make a plan to do well and succeed at school.
Thank you, Ellen. That is such fantastic advice. I know I have to schedule everything out myself, so I completely understand. Melissa, you had mentioned a little bit about some of the services that the library is offering online to help with finals and even beyond that. Could you explain a little bit more about those for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, since we can't do research appointments in our building, we are offering them online. So on our website, students can book research appointments in advance as long as they're 24 hours in advance. And this is really a great tool because it helps the student get better information, and it helps us understand more about their research needs. So they can fill out the form and choose whatever time works for them within our library hours. And they also have an option to describe more about their assignment, their research need, or they can even upload their syllabus and their assignment that they received directly from the instructor. So we have time to review it before we meet with the student. And then when we meet with them, we can do an online chat or we can do a WebEx, whichever way the student prefers. But we are also, helping students with research through our email and through our online chat. And the great thing about our online chat is it's normally staffed by Harper College librarians. But if it's outside of our hours and a student needs help at 3 a.m., there are librarians across the country that are staffing that can also help those students. So those are the ways we're helping with research. And if students need to access any of our databases or electronic materials, they have that all accessible through home. They just log into those databases with their MyHarper login and password. And then, as far as curbside pickup, we are doing curbside pickup. So students can just log into their library account, and that library account is the same information they use to log into their student information system. And they can also place holds on any of the items we have. So we have books, DVDs, anything that they need, and we send them an email when it's ready for pickup.
Wow, thank you. And I learned something. I didn't know that you could, chat at 3 a.m. and have someone help you, which is awesome. I am usually in bed snoozing, but I know that time schedule is not always the same for college students. So thank you for sharing. And looking ahead and thinking about that dreaded F word that I mentioned earlier, finals. I know when I was a student, I would often get a little sweaty thinking about it and all I had to do to prepare for the finals that I had coming up. And so, Ellen, I just would be curious if you had a few tips or strategies in terms of test taking or studying skills that students might be able to implement as they prepare for finals.
Absolutely, there are all kinds of things that you can do. We want to remind students that good students get help. Sometimes we feel like when we need to get some help that we must be doing something wrong, or maybe we aren't cut out for this subject matter. But what we know is that you can do a lot more than you think you can. You just have to get that assistance, whether it's something like managing your time, working with your faculty member, coming in for tutoring of one kind or another, getting that ahead of time so that you're not unprepared when you go into things. So in terms of test taking, whether it's a quiz or some assessment throughout the semester, or if the cumulative final even at the end of 16 weeks, our preparation is really the same. We always tell students that you want to begin as early as possible. So that's something that we can be working on all semester long. Keep your notes organized. Make sure that you're keeping up with the reading if you have a text or something that goes along with that. Whatever you happen to be doing for materials, keep old quizzes or anything like that that you have that you can review, and begin early. We tell people that the one way to avoid test anxiety, which many of us feel when you're heading into a test, that feeling of, oh no, I'm just not really ready for this. The best way to combat that is to feel that you have spent enough time on things. So we kind of come back to that idea of time management and avoiding procrastination again and again. So you want to start as early as you can, work with a schedule. You can come into our office, of course, log in virtually, and you can get some tips about preparing for finals from our Success Services Department. How to begin organizing, begin reviewing things so that you're doing a really intensive review at the very end of the week of your final exams. We want to remind students, too, to take care of yourself. You know, if you're not eating well, if you're not sleeping, you can't possibly be prepared to do well on a test. So this is advice that your mother gave you long ago, I'm sure, but it still holds true that you have to take care of yourself, you know, fuel yourself and be ready for things. If you're well rested, you can remember what you've learned, and take a little time to, you know, take a breather, get outside and relax a little bit. Talk to yourself and remind yourself of all the work that you've done to be ready for things. Again, we remind students that good students who feel that they need help should get some help. That's why we're here. And all of our services are free and easy to find on our website.
Thank you so much for that advice, Ellen. And Melissa, I know that everybody is virtual right now. So what if students are having a little bit of issues with access to technology? What are some loan programs and services offered to students?
Yeah, so the library oversees the semester loan technology program for the college. So it's a great program and it's free resources for students. So currently we have Chromebooks, Wi-Fi hotspots, and graphing calculators that students can borrow for the whole semester. So they just have to be registered in at least one credit class. And to request the items, there is a form on our website, and it's also on the Harper College landing page to request technology. They would just fill out that form. We send the student electronic agreement, and then once it's agreed to, the library staff process the hold and email the student when it's ready for pickup. And then we have those items available for curbside pickup. And we've also created online tutorials to help students get those hotspots set up, getting started with the Chromebooks. So there's no charge to rent the items for the semester, and if students keep continuing to take classes, we can definitely renew those items. So we have plenty of inventory available, so we definitely want to promote those to our students.
Thank you. And I was just going to chime in and ask Melissa, for folks who might not understand what a hotspot is, what does that actually mean? Like, do they have internet once they have it? Like, do they get a code? Can you just walk me through what that looks like for students?
Yeah, absolutely. So this Wi-Fi hotspot would provide internet for students who do not have that. So if you don't currently have access to an internet, if you just order the Chromebook doesn't automatically come with internet, but the hotspot will provide that for you. So as the student has that, they'll set it up, and then it'll show an option on their Chromebook or on their personal computer to connect to that hotspot. And so wherever they go, whether they're at home or they need to go somewhere else, or even to a coffee shop, they'll have internet as long as they have that device with their computer.
Where do students find the information for both of your areas?
Well, for the Academic Support Center, we are on the Harper website, of course, harpercollege.edu/academic support, or you can go to your student portal and you can make appointments through your portal as well. Just click on academics and you can follow the links that way.
Yeah, and for us, it's just harpercollege.edu/library. All of our information's on there, as well as the form stack, how to access databases, all on the main page.
One of my last questions here, and this is to both of you, is, to close out our session today, can you think back, as a college student yourself, what was one or two things that helped you the most in preparing for exams? And so Ellen, if you want to go first, and Melissa, if you want to follow up.
Sure. I think for all of us, knowing what's going to be on the exam, if you don't know, if you're not sure, asking about that. A lot of faculty members tell us that they're just waiting for students to let them know what they need if they have questions and things like that. So we always want to remind students to go ahead and speak up, find out what kind of exam it is. Make sure you know those things. How you prepare for an essay exam or a multiple choice exam or a fill in the blank type part of an exam are very different things. So the more prepared we are for those things, the better off we are. And again, look around who can help you with those things. We all have strengths. Some things come naturally to all of us. Other things are more challenges. So I think just that realization that it's not that you can't do it, it's just that you might need to find somebody who can walk you through some of the processes and strategies to do well on that, and to find that on campus and take advantage of that so that you can do well.
And then Melissa?
Yeah, for me, I would say definitely note cards were my best friend through college. Definitely writing everything down, because as much as I would read things and read things, I think just writing it down helps you memorize it better. And then also just really keeping a positive mindset and knowing that you can do it and get through it, and just making sure that you do take breaks. And I think that's just really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And it brings me back to my own college days. I think I really resonated with what both of you said, but Ellen, kind of thinking about taking advantage of some of those office hours. And I know it looks a little bit different because we're virtual, but I think those opportunities and reaching out to professors, I not only maybe better understood what was going to be on the exam, but I actually got to know my professors a little bit more. And those are the folks that ended up writing me letters of recommendation for graduate school. So it was kind of a win-win situation that I didn't really anticipate. So thank you. So that kind of wraps up our session for today. And we're so glad to have both of you on today's Hawk Talk, as I know you're helping students prepare for finals, but even throughout their time at Harper. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.